All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the Roby Star Tournament. We are finally getting into the Qualifiers Showcase. It's been a really long kind of workflow in terms of this tournament in general. I mean, we've been mostly starting this for just about almost a year, basically. I mean, it's really crazy to kind of just like be here right now to just show you guys the qualifiers pool. I mean, it is quite the pool. I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty excited to show it off as well. But with me in the commentary booth. Oh, 1 second. Does look like we're having some issues. But with me in the commentary booth primarily will be Lot. Hello Lot, how are you doing today?
Hello, I am feeling quite well today, and we are going to be accompanying you guys on the RST Qualifiers Showcase. And keep in mind, this is usually a row beats tournament, but now we're going global on Osu with brand new map pools and literally a bunch of custom maps as well. Like, what is there not to be excited of? Holy!
God, the pools are so good. But also with us in the pool is going to be Epic Man 2, Livium, and UCtism. Hello guys, how are you guys doing?
Hi, hello, I'm doing very well. So yeah, this was Robeats was like a game that I used to play back in about 2018. It was like some people may know me from the Robeats community, as I used to be a lot more active in mapping in that community and that game especially, with a few games that are in game especially. Before I fully transitioned to this game around the start of 2022, so I'm looking forward to being here with y'all in this tournament. Hoping it goes well.
Hi everyone, I'm Livium, also known as Doofy Player. I've been quite heavily involved within Robies, and I still am. And so I was invited to pool for this map pool for this tournament, since I'm heavily involved within Robeats. And yeah, it's my first time doing a lot of like map pooling stuff for an Osumania tournament, so I'm excited, and I'm excited for everyone to see what we've been doing together as a team.
Oh, UCtism here. It's actually my first time commentating. I'm a little worried here. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. I was brought into the team from, I believe, Znow contacted me. And yeah, I'm excited for all of you to see the map pool. So let's continue on to the next.
Yeah, and with that, we can move on to our first map, which is going to be commentated by both Lot and Epic Man 2. So bring us off into stage 1.
Yeah, so this is our stage 1, which is going to be Macron Moon, a custom qualifier map made by Hyper. So
In the
this is
background today.
yeah, this is going to be the SV map of our qualifiers map pool. As you know, Hyper for his rather well-renowned SV style and so on that you would have seen in various tournaments, such as, for example, Mania World Cup, to name a few, and so on. So yeah, this is the map. This is the map of Macron Moon made by Yushii, a future-based song that used to be in Robeats, like maybe a few years back. Like this would have been here. This would have been in the game since about like 2017, but it was removed during the licensing era from about nearly 3 years ago now. However, because the song is licensed in the official artist library for this game, we can pretty much like use the song without like any worries. So yeah, as you can see here in the map, as you can see, it follows some relatively simple sort of swing rhythm patterns with with like some rolls here and there, mainly in triplet rhythms and so on, and also with like some pretty sight readable SV. So like relatively simple SV to sort of like get you sort of into the map, just to like start off our qualifier, just to see how the players do with it, with a bit with a small dash of basically some maneuvering as SV patterns, some SV effects as well, such as some accelerations and so on.
I guess you guys often know H1 as a guy who does early game SVs, typically say in MWC, 4DN, but this time there is gonna be a bit of a memorization twist in it, just a little bit to spice things up for the qualifier stage. I estimate this map to be around quarterfinals level of the tournament. I don't know. And this map is not submitted, by the way, so the stats don't show up here, but the starter rating is 2.59. But keep in mind that the SR of SV maps are always alive. Do not let the stats deceive you here. And yes, some of the parts in this map is kinda choosable, but most of the time it's not. And if you become too careless, you may accidentally choose on a part you shouldn't and you get a miss. So just practice the map, please. Overall, I would say this map is really fun to both play, practice, and look at, with how swingy the rhythm is and how flashy the effects are presented to the eyes and the hands. Yeah, that's it for stage 1.
And with that, we can move on to stage 2, which is going to be our technical hybrid, Something in the Water by Epic Man 2. So can talk more about this as well.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a custom map made by Epic Man 2. I don't know who that is, but they seem like a interesting individual. So yeah, this is going to be the technical hybrid of the Qualifiers map pool. This is namely more Rise tech dump oriented. Basically like really sort of lenient dump and patterning and so on, just to like sort of fit the level of a qualifier pool, just to match with its sort of like progression. So not to get like anything too extraordinary out of the way. This is the hybrid map. This is a map which consists of like various technical patterns, both namely with Rice and with some elements as well, especially with some of the overlapping elements and the staggered releases as well, as you could see here during this part in particular. So yeah, there's like a bunch of varying bursts and dumps in this chart specifically. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this map isn't the hardest. I would say it's probably the easiest in terms of raw difficulty, besides SV, of course. But it's just the accuracy component that's really going to give you a lot of trouble.
Yeah, for sure. There isn't like much of the map left, considering that this is like relatively a simple song, and so with a rather simple map to go with it, I think it sort of fits the song in my opinion, and it sort of works well as a hybrid for this pool. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect this to get a lot of FCs in general, but the accuracy is gonna probably be a completely different story.
Potentially, yeah. There is like various parts in this map which have like various sort of like degrees of challenging difficulty for it to go with on its own. So yeah, such as like this sort of LN section here that's more oriented in these sort of releases that you probably would see normally in like early game map pool LN maps, namely like round of 32s and stuff. So yeah. With this map, this is basically my stage. With that out of the way, we can now go on to the next stage, which is going to be the first stage. I believe this is the Rice Tech Dump stage.
Yep.
The Rice stage. Yeah, this is stage 3. It's going to be Clickbait, mapped by Livium, otherwise known as Duke Player. So, take it away.
Yeah. This is my first map that you guys are going to be seeing that I've done in this map pool, and it's kind of a hectic one to say the least. Overall, the map itself is, as you might guess, it's very rice heavy, rice oriented. There's a lot of tricky snaps here and there. A lot of the vocals are mapped to a race pattern, and so some players may find that a little disorienting, layered alongside all the other elements of the song. Here you can see that there's a left and right patterning going on here. The drop is where it gets really crazy here.
Kim Kardashian is
I mean,
dead.
this map isn't particularly too hard out of all the qualifiers. You do see a little bit of a single string section here, which it isn't too fast. It is 1/8, and this song I do believe breaks in at about 128 BPM, so around 250 single streams, which isn't too bad. Should be relatively easy to handle. And like mentioned earlier, there's a lot of crazy like patterns here, which does add a little bit to the difficulty.
Yeah.
This map is so fun, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. With the sort of blend between like more simpler patterning and also some more abrasive sort of like tech bursts and graces and jacks so on, like that are more biased towards like specific sides of the playfield. This is the sort of map that would basically demand for your attention throughout the map if you want to be able to like try and maintain good accuracy. This is basically one of those maps that does like basically tell you, well, like it says in the song, what happens next will shock you. So yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, but that does conclude stage 3, our Rice Tech map. And with that, we can move on to our first LN, which is going to be Plumage, our kind of coordination-based map. It is made by UC Systems, so you can kind of talk about this map.
Coming up in stage 4, we have Plumage. This one is composed by renowned and honestly underrated Rindy, Spirit Team 128. This pick should be the easier long-run category in the pool, with the skill set being long-run coordination. Plumage goes all the way back to, I believe it was Goku 2017. Ever since then, it's been featured in games like Youth Dash. I think that's really neat. Despite being lower on starting in the Lono category, I'd say many people might find this pick a little tricky since it does require a lot of finger control and coordination skills. This map generally consists many 1-4 releases, so you must stay focused if you don't want your accuracy to drop. See a lot of these staggered releases consistently throughout the map without barely any breaks, so
Yeah, for sure. This is with the amount of proper coordination sort of based patterning in this chart. This is
Hello,
basically
quick
one of those.
notice. The music is a bit loud at the moment, and the commentary voice is kinda. Okay, that should be better.
Yeah. So yeah, this is one of those maps where you would really need to like sort of pay attention between like. It's usually more on the side. It's usually sort of like more mapped on the side of coordination with the element patterns, as you can see here, with varying densities, and also with a burst of like rise patterns here and there, such as some of the 1/6 bursts, as you probably would have seen earlier in the map. So yeah, with the various patterns here, as well as like some of the more trilly sort of one-hand bias oriented patterning and so on, this is definitely something that you want to keep your eyes peeled on, so that you can maintain like the best accuracy possible when playing, especially for qualifiers.
Something I'd like to point out about this map, it gets progressively harder. You'll see that right now, the long note gets trickier with the long note releases, which raises the possibility of choking near the end of the map. So you'll have to be really careful when you're playing this.
Yeah, but
And
that
that
does,
should be all that
yeah.
I can say about the map.
That does conclude the stage for our easier LN, your coordination LN. And with that, we can move on to stage 5, which I know everyone's gonna have a field day with. So, moving on to Pine Nut.
This is
Ooh.
sadistic.
I am sure nobody expected this. But
Yeah.
this will be the more physical, raw, skilled map. And starting off, it does start very simple, but you're immediately going to be going into these pretty abrasive patterns with a little bit of density mixed in. It is going to be mostly kind of hand streamy, jump streamy pattern with some faster jump streams in certain areas. But you do get a few slight breaks here and there. But this map is not that easy by any means. It is very easy to choke 200s on this, even despite how simple this might be.
I would say some of the main difficulties come from controlling your drill, one-handed drill motions, the sudden mini jacks, as well as the tempo changes in patterning. Like you just saw here a 1/5 hand stream. So yes, it's quite volatile in terms of hand movement. Oh, and yes, I do not know how to describe this jump stream pattern. You do you, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Very quirky.
it is very transition-y. A lot of kind of like trilly motions. I mean, especially for kind of the slower BPM this is at 200, it is going to have to require a little bit of trickier patterns and a little bit more density. And you do see some mini jacks in here, which aren't too bad. It is kind of flowy in terms of transition. So if you're able to kind of transition in and out of these, you should be relatively fine.
Yeah, for sure. With the amount of bursts that you can see throughout this map, this is definitely one of the harder sort of rice tech maps in this qualifier pool. Just from the sheer like stamina you would need like to play this alone. Like it is dumpy and so on, just like clickbait as you would have seen earlier. However, this is more like sort of on the. However, this is more sort of like jump streamy and so on, with some like with some really sort of abrasive patterns here and there in terms of directions. So yeah, definitely something to keep on the watch for.
I would like to give a little shout out to the quad at the end. It is desync from the beat actually.
We love
Do
to
not
see it.
drop 4 200s on it.
Yeah, have fun with that. But with that, we can move on to stage 6, the infamous map that we've all been talking about. Lot, take it away.
Oh yes, you
Ooh.
guys fear LNs. You guys are not ready for this stage. This is our long note density pick, and as the name suggests, this is going to be much denser and more physical as well. And with that, also bumps the stamina factor up by a level higher. I'd say maybe this is the actual hell of the Achilles trick for you guys after all. And yes, this starts off fairly less inversy with more filler rises for the active rhythms, but as you can see, the patterns get progressively more dance and oriented. And this is not just conventional inverses, this is more broken stream patterning, so there's also the aspect of finger control in rhythm as well as transitioning from between finger positions at say.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't really too heavy in terms of kind of accuracy-wise. I mean, I won't lie, this map can be a little bit tricky to get good accuracy on, even if it is a density pick. Some people might find this a bit easier compared to Stage 4. It really does depend on kind of how strong of a player you are in general, but this map is more fast, so you do have to kind of focus on a lot more compared to some of the other maps.
Yeah, I would say if you are good at inverse LNs, then this map might be the chance for you to shine, but if not, then womp womp, I don't know.
Yeah, have fun if you can't play LNs.
Elsewise, this map does progressively get harder, so there is the stamina factor in this map, and of course it also comes with the patterning being more dense and clearly inversely, but obviously the inverse gaps are not always full, so be careful of the irregular gaps, and the map is ending.
Yeah,
This is very hectic.
Oh yeah. I mean, a general kind of thing within these maps is you do kind of see them like really progress in difficulty as they go on. I mean, you saw it a lot in Pine Nut. You do see it even in something like Clickbait, Plumage. I mean, all these maps, they start off a lot more simpler, but they do get progressively harder. And with that, we can move on to our final map. And to explain to those who may be unfamiliar with how this works, our first 6 picks will be our pretty much regular picks, but our 7th pick will pretty much mimic a tiebreaker. And yes, it is going to be the hardest map out of all of these, so have fun. It is going to be Poto Da, a collab between Chu, Lot, and I. It is very fun.
This is so good.
It's not without a Camellia song inside.
I mean, starting off with a Camellia song. I mean, that is a way to definitely start the tournament. I mean, we have a lot of good maps and a lot of good songs, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to have so much fun with this.
Oh yes, this might be considered a reprise from Stage 2. With Stage 2 being more on the rise side and being simpler, this one will have a higher focus on dynamic patternings and a higher skill ceiling in long notes. Also, a higher roll skill demand, so this is definitely the boss stage of the qualifiers.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you'll also kind of know a lot is there are a lot of like mini jacks, but if you're able to easily handle the mini jacks within Pine Nut, I don't think these ones should give you too much trouble. I would say they are a bit accessible, especially because it isn't crazy mini jack transitions.
Yeah, this map definitely has a lot of mini jacks, but at the same time there are also different kinds of patterns like LN grazes, bursts, and schlongs. They all just kinda come together in many forms and sizes. It's really unpredictable.
Yeah, and going on, you see these really crazy and wacky LNs, these even jacks at times.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we were basically into the first course of this map, which is basically supposed to simulate like a sort of typical like course that you'd find in like many other central sort of tiebreakers, especially with some other simplistic sort of rise tech patterns with like some rhythms here and there, some jacks and bursts, so on, with a dash of LNs and other sort of abrasive sort of staggered releases and patterning and so on. So yeah, basically to keep players on their toes, if they are trying their hardest to push for an FC or for good accuracy, for good measure on a chart like this, especially for qualifiers, this is basically like definitely the one map that you're gonna have to look out for if you're gonna be playing, especially since this is like a 1v1 tournament, I believe.
Yeah.
This is Yeah, this is definitely like the sort of stuff that you want to be able to try and ensure that you are like, especially like sort of good at, because this is definitely the sort of thing. This is definitely the sort of metric that will definitely put your placement to the test, to put your skills to the test, alongside like all the upper stages, since they are usually intended to simulate different sort of stages of the tournament in question. So yeah, with this map specifically, like simulating a tiebreaker, like potentially in the mid game of this tournament, this is definitely like a more professional way to sort of measure one's skill. I don't think many other tournaments do this, but I feel like, but yeah.
I would say some tournaments have been trying to include this kind of mini tiebreaker in their qualities, like MWC 23 with their Onslaught Rebellion of Bahamut, PHNM 24 with my ultimate map, and like many other tournaments as well. But a mini tiebreaker of this level is kinda unseen. This map is almost 5 minutes long and encompasses almost all dynamic and technical skills that you could find in a tournament. You get mini jacks, you get bursts, you get LN in many kinds, like inverses, schlongs, and staggered releases. Like, it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, one thing too is a lot of players typically won't really get into tiebreaker, so this is kind of one way to kind of get players into it, and it definitely does test their skills if they do manage to get into this. I mean, it is a huge consistency test, and you could really tell a lot from your opponent just from one map like this one.
Indeed. So yeah, with this qualifiers pool simulating very different and unique sort of like stages of the pool, especially when it comes to both early game sort of maps, for example, like potentially the hybrid map, and also some other ones as well. This, and also some late game ones as well, such as Pine Nut and also Lost Tyrann trucks, as we would have seen, and also Patolda. This is definitely like a qualifiers pool that is versatile in its own right, and should definitely put a test to like most of a good majority of the players that have registered into the tournament. So yeah, I do look forward to how everyone does on these maps.
Yeah, I mean, that does conclude our qualifier showcase. I really do hope that everyone does enjoy these maps. I mean, I've seen the work that everyone in the pooling teams put, and they've done an amazing job just really expressing themselves through these maps and really putting a test on each of these categories. Do show your support for each of these maps, whether it be a favorite or whatever. But good luck with that. I don't know if anyone has anything else to say.
I'm really proud of this qualifiers map pool. Like, it pretty much represents the mapping community in a very all-rounded way, and it also tests skill sets very well. Like, it covers pretty much everything you need in a tournament. So this is like excellent job for every mapper. I love you guys.
Yeah, all I
so-
want to say is just good luck to all the players, and don't choke.
Oh, we're gonna see that a lot.
So yeah, with all the jazz and pizzazz out of the way, there isn't really much other input that I have left to say other than, do you have what it takes to be a star?
Ooh.
Stop!
Ooh.
Real.
Quote
True.
drop over here.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I wish
Lost
everyone
adventure.
good luck on the tournament.
Yeah. Best of luck for qualifying in this tournament. I do believe that you'll have what it takes to be a star and to smash it as well. So yeah.
Yeah, but that does conclude our showcase, and with that, I might as well give you guys some extra info just in case. But qualifier schedule and the qualifiers map pool will be uploaded soon onto the main sheet, so definitely be sure to look out for those. Each of the schedules will be laid out, and you can schedule within the tournament schedule. If you do have to reschedule, make sure to do that. And with that, I also have a surprise gimmick within the entirety of the tournament. as we do have one SV, and I really do want to encourage everyone to really try these SVs and try their hardest, there will be a bounty for every SV. Within each SV, the person to get the highest score within said SV will receive a month of supporter, or the equivalents within their prize pool if they do reach that level. And first person to assess each of these SV maps with a hand cam live play will also receive a month of supporters. So have fun with those SVs. You're free to DM me your live plays
Really
with these
exciting.
SVs. So
I didn't
have
know
fun
about
with
this.
that. Yeah, I decided
You better
to kind of
be
put this last
quick.
minute. Yeah, you're definitely gonna want to be quick.
With the early games though. Like,
Exactly.
the early game SPs are kind of easy, but
Ooh.
and then the late games one are
To SS?
like, so spicy.
We'll
How do you
see.
even as the grand finals SV? Like I swear to God, I'm the master and I can't even do it.
We'll see. We'll see. There's definitely a lot of people, but these bounties will be on throughout the tournament and within outside the tournament. So even if we do see something like Grand Finals not SS right now, if it does get SS eventually, then I'll still hold my word to it. But yeah, I do think that's about it for the showcase. So have fun. I'm Znow, and I'll be seeing you guys later.
Yep, this was
Next
Epic
stream,
Man too,
everyone.
and yeah, I'll be seeing y'all. Have fun and best of luck, man.
Log signing off, I guess. Goodbye. Good luck.
Alright.
Good
This is Vivian saying
everything.
goodbye. Good luck, everyone.
Goodbye, good luck, good night.
See you to them.